follows us, whose illustrious career began in the late 1980s as a staff writer for the African Concord magazine. Talent and tenacity quickly elevated this man to editorial positions at the Weekend Concord and Classic magazine. He became Nigeria's highest paid editor. However, it was his bold move in 1996, founding Ovation International, while in exile, that cemented his legacy. Beyond media, he's a philanthropist. He's a political aspirant, a cultural ambassador, and a good man. His achievements include prestigious awards as the Nigerian National Merit Award, and forums, and he's done a lot. Tonight, we're celebrating the one and only, the ever charismatic Dele. Good evening.
Good evening, my friend, my brother, the Bola of Africa, as I call you.
You're welcome, Chief.
Thank you for inviting me. It's been a while.
Always a pleasure.
But
Yes.
you always give me the best.
You deserve the best, sir, and you're most
Thank you.
welcome.
I appreciate all the encomiums you called on me tonight. There was a night he walked into the State House opposite the conference center. We were having the Ovation Carol and we were interviewing you on the red carpet. And you were speaking about me. I was crying.
You cried?
Yes, I cried. You made me weep that night.
Because that is who you are. A man whose legacy is still being written in bold, unapologetic ink. That's who you are.
It takes greatness to recognize greatness in other people. And I appreciate you. I will never take that for granted.
You're most welcome. And this interview is live around on starfm.com.gh. We're live also in Second Radio and Empire FM 102.7 and in Kumasi Ultimate 106.9 FM. And proudly sponsored by MTN everywhere you go. And Star Assurance. So Chidele, you must welcome. You're now in Ghanaian, you know. Which day were you born? So are you a Tuesday born, Monday born?
Monday.
Oh, so you are Kojo?
Yes, I'm Kojo.
Chief Dele Kojo Momodu.
Momodu. Yes.
Now to you, what to you? It is
Yeah.
Oh, Dele, you've been in Ghana since what, 2000?
You know the thing is, if you don't interact much, because I'm always on the move, it makes it very difficult. But I can say proudly, confidently, that I know Ghana better than I know Nigeria.
You know Ghana better than...
I've been to every part of Ghana by road.
Wow. So you've been to Tamale, Upper East,
I've been to Wa. I've been to Bolgatanga. Yes, I've been to Sunyani.
Wow.
I've been to home.
More than many Ghanaians.
I said I have been. There is no part of Ghana.
You know Koforibia.
I slept in Koforibia. I've been everywhere in Ghana. That was possible because in 2016 I was supporting my man. And
now President.
Now President John Dramani Mahama. I went everywhere. If I believe in you, I'll go to the depth of the Atlantic Ocean. Nothing. In fact, there was a night, and my man, Ian Obijeto was with me that night. We were threatened.
By
what is this man looking for? Who are you in Ghana?
Wow. You are threatened by who?
You are about people. There were some bad guys around. We picked up the information, but I've been a player, a political player.
That's
so.
Right.
I knew how to maneuver and all that. And it was like, why are you dabbling to them? I said, look, me, I'm a Pan-Africanist through the books of the Osagie Efo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. I bought all his books in Nigeria as a young man. And I was fascinated by a particular work of his, Africa Must Unite. That brought me in contact with Ghana. So I read everything. Then I read the works of Kofi Awolowo in Nigeria. This helped my brother. I read Ayikwe Ama, The Beautiful Ones Are Not Yet Born. So I was already in love with Ghana before I came to Ghana. So whether I'm a Ghanaian or not, I've appointed myself as a citizen of Ghana.
How did you meet President Mahama?
Oh, that's interesting. I've met him before, shortly before. I've met him through President Rawlings. Every president in Ghana, from the man I love to call Junior Jesus, that infuriated some of his enemies, I couldn't be bothered. So it was me who took me to show where JM was staying at the time. And we got on well, he had also lived partly in Nigeria. He's a very cosmopolitan man, a free soul. He's at home with everybody, wherever he goes. So we became friends, but we didn't see much. We met occasionally when he became president at functions. It was on your program.
Oh, on Star Chat?
On Star Chat. I came here one day, and towards the end of the interview, you now asked me, how do I see Ghana and the performance of the government? Then I started heaping praises of Mahama and everything. I didn't know I had dropped a bombshell. I dropped my bombshell, entered the plane the following day, and went back to my country. Then, boom, 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 everybody started sending me newspaper headlines. They wanted to send it. They wanted to send Mahama is the best. So, that was how one day someone called me and said, John Mahama was looking for me. I said, how? So, I then sent him a message. He then thanked me. He said, I saw all the good things you said about my government, and that when next you are in Ghana, I would love to meet with you. And that was how he started. All over again. Wow. Yes, and he said if I could help them with his communications and all.
At the time, president, he was a former president.
He was president.
He was president already. Yes,
2016.
I remember.
He was president, and the moment I give you my word to support you, no nothing. If you like, give me $10 billion.
Correct.
I'm not going to take that money. I was humbled by his own humility. That it my English friend. He used to follow me, on Twitter. And he said whenever people attack me, what fascinated me was that I will respond and the people will run away. And I don't lose my head, I don't lose my, cool. I just reply, apply only one thing, logic. If it is not logical, forget it. So that was how we started. Wow. And people started attacking me. Oh, Dele this, Dele that. How can they allow a Nigerian to? But me, I'm a Ghanaian by fire, by force. Not that I don't have a country. I mean, for me to have contested in my own country says I have a country.
That's right.
But when you see a country that is doing well,
will you say you're more a Ghanaian than Nigerian now?
No, I wouldn't say so. Of course, I'm full-blooded Nigerian. I love Nigeria, despite our challenges and everything. People also don't know the history and my trajectory with Ghana. I was on the road to exile in 1995. So I escaped through the border of Sebe border into Cotonou in Benin Republic. From Benin, I moved to Togo. From Togo, I Aflao border into Ghana. And what I saw, July 25th, 1995, I will never forget. What I saw, President Rawlings was in power. I saw a lot of activities going on. And I was so impressed that, hey, Ghana does not even have the resources of some countries in Africa. And Ghana was doing so well. Then I saw the discipline in Ghana. I saw a place where water was running through the taps.
That wasn't happening in Nigeria?
That wasn't happening in a lot of places, not just Nigeria, a lot of African countries with even larger resources.
In 95?
Yes, 95. Then I was able to trace my good friend who had lived in Nigeria, Mr. Fritz Bafford. I doff my hat to him forever. I love him to bits. This man used to speak impeccable English.
Correct.
In Nigeria, it was known by everybody.
Sincerely yours. Yes.
Oh, yes. So, I didn't know how to locate him. So I asked my taxi driver, I said, do you know a man by the name Fritz Baffo by chance? Then he said, yes. I said, do you know where he lives? He said, no. Do you know how I can trace it? He said, yes. I said, how? He said he used to go and drink at the Irish pub, you know. This was 1995.
Wow.
And that was how I traced him. We carried each other up. And for the 3 days I spent in Ghana, we spent most of it together. And on my way to exile, which was my saddest period in life, because I never planned to live abroad. But when a General Sunday Abacha is looking for you, you are better disappear. Like they will say in military terms, vamoose. So I decided to vamoose, and he saw me through the airport. And then with
Off to London.
Off to London, where I lived for the next 3 years. So by the time I was leaving, I made a promise. I said, Ghana, I will be back.
You said that?
I said that. Me, I'm a very spiritual person. I said, Ghana, I will be back. And when I'm back, you will know Dele Momodu is there.
and it was in London that Ovation International magazine was born.
Yes,
Let's talk about it, because your name is synonymous with Ovation International, high-profile journalism in Africa. But before the global spotlight, who was Chief Dele Momodu? What were you doing? Take us back into your humble beginnings, where you were born, grew up, and all of that. Let's get to meet you.
I was born in the ancient town of Ilefe, where the Ghans are said to have migrated from before coming to Ghana. So, my father was a civil servant. He was a road overseer, worked with the public works department. My mother was a petty trader, selling rice and beans at a prison yard.
Oh, your mother used to sell rice?
To sell rice and beans, yes. You know, and so to borrow the popular cliche, I was born into a very humble family.
No, with a silver spoon in the
No, silver. Where? Where? So, my father died in 1973. I was 13 years old. So, we were so broke that we couldn't afford to pay our rent. So, my mother and myself had to bundle ourselves to go and squat with our cousins in Modakeke. And to cut a long story short, it was a struggle. My sister, my elder sister, I had 2 elder sisters, we were all living together with our cousins.